Welcome to Razzball Radio on the Fantasy Sports Network. I'm here with Ryan Schellink, who actually writes for Razzball. Ryan, welcome to Razzball Radio, my man.
Thanks so much for having me, man.
Are you kidding? I'm so excited because we're in California today. Today is a huge day because not only are we doing one draft, we are doing two. Now, Ryan, I got to tell you, we're cheating a little bit today for the Oakland stop because, well, you know what? I didn't know if we really wanted to go into Oakland. Don't get mad at me, Raiders fans, okay? So we are actually in Sonoma County. We are at the Sonoma Cidery. Is that right?
Yeah. So this is Sonoma Cider, and we're a new startup cider company. We are certified organic. We're a national brand. We're taking the country by storm, and we're very excited to have the Razzball tour here, 32 and 32 and 32. We're drafting, we're drinking some cider, we're having a good time, and we're going to talk some Raiders.
Okay, don't tell anyone we're actually drinking cider here, A. I'm joking. B, so again, Ryan works for Sonoma, and he said, look, we'll fill up the truck full of cider if you swing by here and do your draft here. So I said, yes, please. All right, so let's talk a little bit of Raiders today. So let's start at quarterback. It's easy to pick on Matt Schaub. I've been doing it a lot all year, but I'm wondering now maybe if I'm changing my tune. So let me ask you this. Is there any chance that David Carr actually gets some reps as a starter this year, or is it all going to be Matt Schaub? Second to that, if it is Schaub, how successful can he be?
Well, there's clearly a possibility that Derek Carr could take over at some point in the season, I think. I doubt it'll happen unless there's a catastrophic injury or collapse by the team in general. I really feel like this is Schaub's job. It's going to be his job.
Did you try to rhyme that on purpose?
No. But, we'll have a few more of those throughout. Thanks. Schaub's job. Yeah, that sounds dirty almost. Anyway.
Now, you brought up a really good point earlier. You said that you think what they're trying to do, the reason they brought Schaub in is because this will be Carr's job next year, and they want to assess their skill position players. So let's move right into that. And let's talk wide receiver. We'll get to running backs in a second because those guys are old. So let's talk about the wide receivers. Who's going to be the top pass catcher on this team this year?
I'm going Rod Streeter all day, honestly. Denarius Moore is a heck of a talent, but his coach has no faith in him whatsoever. You hear him talk about him, and he just doesn't really have anything nice to say. What he does is just kind of brushing it to the side. So I'm not feeling confident in his playing time, and if he's on my fantasy roster, I want the guy to have playing time. So I'm ditching him entirely. I'm going Rod Streeter. The guy's an undrafted free agent out of Temple. It's his third year. He's been better every single year. He's finally actually has a legitimate NFL quarterback. It may not be the best NFL quarterback, but he's proven he's got a track record. He knows how to read defenses. So I think Streeter's my guy.
Sorry, I just sort of interrupt you, but let's talk about Holmes for a second because he has a lot of upside. Big guy. It looks like right now he's number 2 on the depth chart. Big, fast. I mean, all the Raiders receivers are fast. I mean, that's the Al Davis legacy. But is there a chance that he can actually become a starter this year for your fantasy football team?
Yes, absolutely. He's incredibly large and incredibly talented. He was raw. He's also a third-year guy. Out of Hillsdale College in southern Michigan. I don't know that you'll see a lot of them at first, but like I was saying earlier, that they're going to be kind of having a lot of position battles throughout the year in Oakland, I feel. They really want to assess their talent, at the skill positions, and I definitely think we'll see him, and hoping if he gets a little chemistry, he could be a big-time player. I guess I look at him kind of like Turner in Tennessee was last year.
Okay, Justin Turner, that's a fair comp, although he's a bit thicker, but same type of guy that can have that kind of upside. Okay, let's talk about the running backs. Obviously, Maurice Jones-Drew it looks like he's going to be the starter, if for no other reason than Run DMC's health. But I'm going to say this, Run DMC is falling off draft boards. I've seen him go in the 12th, 13th rounds in some leagues. I mean, you got to go get him, right?
Well, he's an excellent late-round flyer pick. I mean, you can't really do much better than that. He is one of the most explosive and dynamic talents in all of the NFL, period. He touches the ball. He's as good as any to take it the whole way, take it for 6. He does get injured a lot. He's so explosive, he kind of blows himself up, to be honest. He's for the way he moves, he's really tall. He's got a lot of leverage to blow out ligaments and bust bones and things like that. So that's something to worry about. But if you want to talk about buy low, get a lot of value, he's one of the best guys out there, period.
If you know he's going to start a game, you definitely want Run DMC in that lineup. Also, another running back to consider is Latavius Murray, especially if you're in deeper leagues or if you play Dynasty or Keeper League, because a lot of positive buzz about him out of camp. Okay, Michael Rivera is the main tight end here in Oakland. Is there a chance that he's going to be relevant for your fantasy football team this year?
I think there's a good chance of that. Yeah. I mean, he was very inconsistent last year. But he did have some really big plays. He seems to run the seam really well. He goes up and gets the ball. He's very fast for a tight end, but he was really inconsistent. However, they have said in camp he's the #1 most improved player. So and part of that is his blocking, which they were knocking him for last year. So he improves that. He stays on the field. He's got big play potential. He might actually be the guy that they use to stretch the field if Holmes doesn't get in there that often when Holmes isn't in there. Because he is probably the fastest and tallest guy to go up and grab that jump ball.
I love it. I love how you're adding the visual effects to that, too. Go up and get it. Go up and snatch it. Okay, so my sugar daddy, brought to you by ArrangementFinders.com, which, of course, is the player that I think is going to dramatically outperform his ADP right now, has to be Run DMC. But I'm also going to throw this at you. We've been down-talking Denarius Moore. The guy's got a lot of skill. He's probably not going to get drafted in your league this year, but you definitely want to put him on your watch list. I think, though, you'd probably go with Holmes, right?
I would go with Holmes, especially if you're in a dynasty or keeper format. I get the feel from the Raiders organization that they're wanting Holmes and Carr to make a connection towards the end of this year to kind of be their keystone, be their identity on offense. And they kind of brought in some other guys to facilitate that. But yeah, I'm going Holmes. I do like Moore, but the lack of confidence in him by the coach, I'm staying away just for that reason alone.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Like I said, I'm just saying put them on your watch list. Okay, we are going to go do a draft now, A. B, then you're going to load up the truck with a couple of flats, just pull up the whole forklift, just load up the truck as long as I, can pass the weight limit, and that'll be good. All right, we're at Sonoma Cider here in Sonoma, California. We're going to San Francisco next. Big party happening in San Francisco. A lot going on today. This is Razzball Radio on the Fantasy Sports Network.
I was never one for traditional dating, which is why I like to meet guys on ArrangementFinders.com. Arrangement Finders puts a twist on dating that works so well, they guarantee you'll find a girl. That's right, guarantee. Sounds too good to be true? Check out these girls on ArrangementFinders.com who are looking to date. She's hot. She's hot. Okay, her, not so much. Anyway, it's free to join, so you've got nothing to lose. Go to Arrangement Finders and meet girls like me who know what you really want.
Welcome back to Razzball Radio on the Fantasy Sports Network. We're in San Francisco, and I'm joined now by Uncle Leo from Rotoballer. Uncle Leo, thanks for joining us today on Razzball Radio. How are you?
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me. I'm great. Doing awesome. Beautiful day in San Francisco as usual.
Every day is a beautiful day. You got to understand whether or not it's a beautiful day. And we got a trolley car in back of us, so just so you know, the scene isn't tilted. It's the street that's tilted. So, but we got all kinds of action here. Big fun tonight. We're at the Rec Room. We're doing draft number 3 of the 32 and 32 and 32. So, Uncle Leo, you and I are going to talk about the San Francisco 49ers today, all right? All right, so let's take them through from a fantasy perspective. Let's start with the quarterback, Colin Kaepernick. If you told me Colin Kaepernick at the end of this season would be the #1 quarterback, I would not be surprised. If you told me he was the number 20 quarterback, I would not be surprised. Where does he fit in your mind?
Well, I think he fits in somewhere right in the middle of that. A little bit more specifically, I would say that Kaepernick is slightly undervalued this year based on, not having an exceptional season last year. I think he's got a lot of upside. He's got the running thing going, so he could always get you extra points on the ground. They brought in some more receivers. They got Crabtree back healthy. So I think they're going to open up the passing game a little bit as long as Crabtree can stay healthy. And I think Kaepernick's going to have a great year coming back with a pretty good O-line again. And the offense really learning from what happened last year, what failed down the stretch in division opponents. And I think Kaepernick's going to be set for, let's call him number 7 overall.
Number 7, I like that. And you know what? For where he's going and where I'm able to get him right now, I actually like Kaepernick a lot. I wasn't picking him, but I'm seeing him go as a 13th, 14th quarterback. I'll take that wild card. I'll even take him as a second quarterback in that situation because of the upside. Okay, let's talk now about the running back situation. So obviously Frank Gore is the man in San Francisco, but that guy came into the league with knees made of jello, and obviously, you know, with the long playoff runs that these guys have had, there is a lot of wear and tear on that body. Kendall Hunter's done for the year. To me, that opens the door for Carlos Hyde. Now, whether you're in a dynasty league, if I had the first pick in a dynasty league right now, other than Sammy Watkins, I'm probably taking Hyde because of the upside. What's your take?
There's no doubt that in standard leagues, non-dynasty, Carlos Hyde, in my opinion, is the #1 running back handcuffed this year. Gore is the man here. He's going to be the man until proven differently. He's the heart and soul of this 49ers team. He's fantastic in blitz pickup. They trust him. He's been healthy since his injury a few years back. The Niners clearly are a ground and pound team. They were 3rd in rushing attempts and 3rd in rushing yards last year. I think they're going to continue to grind it out. They may pull back a little bit on the goal line with Gore. He may slow down as the season goes on, as usual, to keep him fresh for the playoffs.
Well, they got to keep him fresh because with that defense and that offense, they're going to go to the playoffs. So Hyde's going to get some burn.
Yeah, Hyde's definitely going to get some action. He's definitely going to spell Gore. I don't think he's going to get too much work on 3rd down. He didn't have too much going on in the passing game in college. He wasn't fantastic in the blitz pickup, but from what the coaches are saying, they see a lot of Frank Gore in him. So I think he's going to have an expanded role as the season goes down. And, of course, if Frank Gore goes down, Hyde has RB1 upside.
Absolutely he does. And you know what? The last couple of years, as they brought in these running backs, Hunter was a darling the last couple of years because people thought he was going to get an opportunity. But I think if finally something happens to Gore, touch wood, Hyde's the guy you want. Okay, wide receivers. Crabtree is back and healthy. They brought in Stevie Johnson. How do you see this unit functioning this year for the Niners? Where's the upside in that unit?
Well, the Niners didn't pass a lot last year. They were 30th in pass attempts in all of football, mostly because Crabtree was out for 11 weeks. When he came back, he had great chemistry with Kaepernick. I think if Crabtree comes in healthy to the season, he's got a little hammy thing going on now. He might be out a week or two. They're going to have great chemistry. Bolden had almost 1,200 yards receiving last year. He's not going to repeat that, but Crabtree has the ability to do that and more. You got Bolden coming in again. He's going to be a great role player for them, nowhere near what he did last year. And honestly, I don't think Stevie Johnson's going to be a fantasy factor at all. From what I've heard.
Really? At all?
I don't think he's going to be a fantasy factor at all.
He was good in Buffalo. He was a good pass-catching wide receiver.
Fantastic in Buffalo.
Well, that's hard to say. Fantastic anything about Buffalo. I love you, Buffalo. I'm kidding.
In PPR leagues, he was pretty solid for the past couple of years. You know, he had some great games mixed in. You know, Buffalo's playing from behind. They throw a lot. This is a San Francisco team that's going to own the clock. He's going to be the #4 receiving option if he makes the team, which, from what I'm understanding right now, is not a lock with his $4 million contract and a lot of rookies and veterans sitting behind him on the depth chart who are biting at his heels. So keep an eye out on Stevie Johnson. Should make the team, but from what I've heard, he has to be clearly above everyone else for them to not dump his $4 million contract.
All right, last up, let's talk tight ends. Vernon Davis is the guy to own there. I am not a Vernon Davis guy. By the way, I'm shifting because literally we're at like an angle like this. It's crazy. I am not a Vernon Davis guy. He was tied to those 13 tight ends last year. I'm not buying. I don't want any part of him. Can you make a counter argument for why you should get Vernon Davis this year?
Well, Vernon Davis is a beast. He's absolutely the man when it comes to a trusted situation for Kaepernick right now, until Crabtree can be on the field healthy. And in the red zone, he's a monster. 13 touchdowns, I think. He only had 52 receptions, which is a little strange, but still not too bad considering the rest of the tight ends. He was definitely in the upper tier. He's the centerpiece of that offense when they need him to be, and I think they're going to need him to be this year. I don't think that they're going to be as dominant on the ground as they've usually been.
Oh, look, a trolley car.
I'm buying into Vernon. I don't know about, #3 overall or whatever his ADP is right now, but the days of getting Vernon Davis as a steal are done. If you want him, you got to pay for him, but I think he'll reward his owners.
I'm not paying for him. In fact, my sugar daddy of the day, which is the guy I think, brought to you by ArrangementFinders.com, which is the guy I think is going to grossly outperform his ADP, I think it's Kaepernick this year just for where he's going. Okay, we're in San Francisco. I'm going to lean on Uncle Leo here. Holy cow, like we are so leany. We're going to go into the rec room. We are going to do draft #3 on the tour. And you know what? You know who's here from today at the draft with us? The guys from sportsvault.net. So you want to lock up your league fees for free. If you play fantasy sports, sportsvault.net is who you need doing the dirty work, doing the collections for you. All right, this is Razzball Radio on the Fantasy Sports Network. We'll be back right after this.
I was never one for traditional dating, which is why I like to meet guys on ArrangementFinders.com. Arrangement Finders puts a twist on dating that works so well, they guarantee you'll find a girl. That's right, guarantee. Sounds too good to be true? Check out these girls on ArrangementFinders.com who are looking to date. She's hot. She's hot. Okay, her, not so much. Anyway, it's free to join, so you've got nothing to lose. Go to Arrangement Finders and meet girls like me who know what you really want.
All right, we're back. This is Razzball Radio on the Fantasy Sports Network. I'm here with Razzball fan Greg. Greg, thanks for coming out tonight, buddy. How long you been reading Razzball?
Razzball, started with baseball, moved over to football, 4 or 5 years. Great commentary, fantastic writing, so love it.
My kind of guy. Now, the reason I want to talk to you right now, Greg, was because we're in the 5th round. We are drafting right now live in San Francisco. You took Cordarrelle Patterson in the 5th, and you said, Nick, is that too early? Looking at some of the wide receivers that came off the board, there was Cruz, Harvin, Wayne. So you know what? I don't think it was too early. With that said, I probably would have taken Patterson. I think the advantage, if you wanted to go with Patterson, See, I'm too excited because we're having such a good time here in San Francisco. I probably would have gone with Harvin myself, but I'm probably higher on Harvin than most. But with that said, Patterson's going to take the top off the defense. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for him to perform in Minnesota, so I think there's some upside there. Right now, your team's shaping up pretty good, but you got a couple of Bears. You got Forte, Jeffrey, Stacy, Ben Tate, and Patterson. You feeling happy with that so far, Greg?
I'm all right with that. PPR league as well. And with Patterson, I know what a lot of those wide receivers are doing after him. Patterson's got a huge ceiling. I'll go with him. Yeah,
you know what? You had some pretty safe picks there with Forte, Jeffrey. I'm not a big Stacy guy this year, but that was a pretty good pick. And then Tate's kind of a wild card. You might want to try and get Terrence West maybe in the 8th, 9th round. Just a suggestion, because who knows who's going to come away out of that situation. All right, we'll be back. More coming on here. Fantasy Sports Network, Razzball Radio. All right, we're back here from hilly San Francisco. I think there might be a pet here. Hi, puppy. San Fran is an interesting city. Speaking of interesting, lots of interesting NFL news today, particularly pertaining to fantasy football. First of all, Knowshon Marino is off the PUP list, which is kind of interesting because there's been so much doom and gloom about him so far this year. So you have to monitor that situation because it's going to affect not only Lamar Miller, but also Knowshon Marino. If he is able to come back and actually play, it's going to bump him up a little bit. I'm still not high on him, but nonetheless, he is a possible opportunity. Also in the news, Tony Romo's back, coming back from that herniated disc surgery. Not looking good so far in camp, which is terrible news because I've been stumping him all preseason. Already coming off a terrible 7.2 yard per attempt last year, so hopefully he'll be able to put it back together. Not what you want to hear, obviously, if you've got Romo early. Also, a couple of banged up Redskins wide receivers, Deshaun Jackson and Pierre Garçon, nursing lower body injuries. Makes Jordan Reed a little bit more interesting right now as we're actually talking about this. Macklin also sore knees. What's going on? What's with the knees and the legs and we're not even doing contact yet. What's going on, people? Ryan Tannehill not having a great start to camp for the Miami Dolphins, but you know what? That's not news. You shouldn't draft Ryan Tannehill. You don't want any part of Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is not a very good fantasy football player. Sure, he's a nice guy, but yeah, apparently he's got a really good-looking wife. But, anyway, aside from that. Okay, so we're doing the draft here right now in San Francisco. And what I did was I had the 12th pick. So I've been talking a lot this year about go wide receiver, and then load up on running backs. And that's exactly what I did. First round, I took Des Bryant. Second round, I took Julio Jones. Third round, I got Toby Gerhart. In the 4th, I got Reggie Bush. In the 5th, I got Trent Richardson, which is a little bit high for some people, but I'm kind of on that bandwagon right now. Chris Johnson in the 6th. And then after that, I got Cam Newton, and then I followed up with Bernard Pierce. So the idea there is I only need a couple of these running backs to actually hit. And you know what? I like Cam. I'm very happy with Cam. I probably could have waited around to get Trent Richardson and taken maybe a Nick Foles earlier, but I am liking Cam Newton a lot this year, so I'm very happy with how that started out. So, again, goes back to the idea that you really can get two really good wide receivers, and then you go running back. And, again, you just need a couple of them to hit. Okay? So that's what we got. We got more going on here. We're at the Rec Room in San Francisco. All right, we are wrapping up the draft here in San Francisco. We had a fantastic draft. It was a really good party. And right now, I've got Matt with me. Matt, the CEO, the founder, the main guy behind sportsvault.net. You came, you partied with us today. We had a good time. Did you enjoy yourself?
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
Hell of a time.
Now, listen, the reason I want to talk to you here, Matt, is because on this tour, one of the things we're doing is giving away this trip to Vegas. And that is courtesy of sportsvault.net, where you can lock up your league fees for free. That's right. It costs you nothing, absolutely nothing. So, Matt, this is how I understand it's going to go down. And because I got you on camera, basically you can't say no at this point. But what's going to happen is someone who comes out to one of these events is going to win flight, hotel, spend a weekend with me in Las Vegas, hanging out at a sports book, college football on Saturday, pro on football. You down with that?
Absolutely. And you might get Carl and I as well.
Well, that's what I heard. What I actually heard is that you guys are actually also going to come out. Will you? Here's the key question: are you bringing the Sports Vault credit card with you to Vegas?
Absolutely.
Okay, this is all on camera, so there's no backseas. You understand that, okay? So listen, guys, you don't have to buy a ticket. If you just come and show up, you're on the list. We're collecting emails, and someone's going to win the Vegas trip. We got some other stuff going on as well, too. It's very exciting here. But, Matt, listen, man, I really appreciate you joining us today. And thanks for sending me to Vegas.
Hey, it's our middle name.
All right, Matt from Sports Vault. Thanks very much. Here with Ryan Shelnick. You met Ryan earlier today, of course, when we were up at Sonoma Cider. Ryan, thanks for coming out and joining us. Did you have fun tonight in San Fran?
Oh, man, it was a blast. There's so many people out here. We had a killer draft. Did we set a record for speed tonight, too?
Yeah, we did it was actually crazy. We did the first 5 rounds in 16 minutes. That's what happens when you have me operating the microphone. Things go really fast. So we did. We banged out 5 rounds, and then everyone was like, Nick, we need a 5-minute break. But I thought it was a pretty good pace. It was fun. Everyone enjoyed themselves, right?
Absolutely. I mean, between the shots taken, if you picked the guy who was already off the board, we were having a good time all night. It was amazing.
Part of the reason that we did have such a quick draft was there was penalties for shots. Not, of course, I was running the board, and I'm the designated driver, so of course I will get us home safely. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. So I think what was really interesting to take away for me, and this is something I've been talking about a lot, is that when you draft in the experts leagues, which is what we talk about a lot, because of course, again, you're with Razzball, what happens is you get live people in draft, the whole dynamic changes. You get players going in completely different positions. Did any in particular stick out to you tonight? Well, not that I'm putting you on the spot or anything.
Oh, please do. By all means, that's where I like to be. You know what?
Here, I'll throw one.
Kaepernick pick that tripped me out, end of the 3rd round.
Right, and that goes again to the homer factor. So we saw that in Seattle as well. Seahawks are going way higher. So a great strategy in your own draft is make sure that, you know what, don't take a level down on the home team. You can watch your home team on Sunday or Monday or Thursday night. You got options. For your fantasy team, make sure you get the best team possible. Ryan, you're a good man. Thanks for helping us out. He was our fixer here in the Bay Area, did good stuff for us. This is Razzball Radio on the Fantasy Sports Network. We're going to see you next from San Diego.